I finally relented, and I applied for a touring gig with, wait for it, drum roll, V-Star Entertainment. Yes, I know. Those of you that know are cringing and shaking your head, looking at the screen, and even probably yelling at me. What the were you thinking? Like, seriously, man, what were you thinking? Well, I'll tell you what I was thinking. I probably wasn't. I was, but I was homeless. I was desperate. And living in a cargo van is not as much fun as it sounds, especially if it's not been modified for human accommodations. No shower, no toiletries, no sinks, no stoves. I had battery powered fans to keep me cool in the 115-degree heats. And I had blankets and layers of clothing to keep me warm when it got too freezing in some of these desert Los Angeles nights. But I digress. Actually, the only real difference between being homeless and being a roadie, do you? It's the backstage pass. I can do everything else when I'm homeless, but I can't get backstage passes. I mean, in September, I went through a battery of interviews with V-Star, and the final hiring manager, or whatever he was, PM maybe, I don't know, pitched me a 4 to 6 hour in, which on paper is a relatively easy gig, right? We were building the show, so it's not been built yet. So we're assuming it's going to be a 4 to 6 hour in, right? So get there. It might have been my own fault. I may not have been as efficient as I like to think I was. They may have decreased the time once I left. I don't know. But our ins were anywhere from 8 to 12 hours plus, depending on the location, the day, the crew, and all this other stuff, right? Um, with that, my days quickly became untenable. It was between my knee or my back. I actually went to the VA in Shreveport while we were in the city to have my knee looked at because it was pretty bad. And then my depression, my anxiety, and my PTSD thrown into the mix. Throw into the mix some other situations and some other like volatile elements, and my pain and my mental elasticity just it was too much, um, too little and too much and too little. Right? The one was increasing, the other was wearing thin, and I pretty much started losing control right around the second week of December. I snapped on my assistant carpenter during a load in, and the encounter disturbed our production manager to the point where she was concerned about possible blows on safety, and it even brought her to tears. As a chauvinistic male asshole, something like that might have made me happy. I don't like to think that that's me, and it didn't. I wasn't proud of that moment at all. In fact, that was the moment that I realized me coming off tour was probably the best option I had decided for. I put my resignation in over Thanksgiving and was just simply waiting for the Christmas break to come along so that we could go home, and then I would resign officially um, for the 24th, which was the day before we came back. Right? We came back on Christmas or whatever, 23rd. Something like that. I don't remember. It was a Christmas thing, I think. But when I came off, I went back home with my family in Michigan for about a month. And during that time, I had an altercation with my sister that scared the living shit out of me. Like, I don't agree with everything people in my family does. I don't. I don't agree with my family on everything. I don't. Um, I live in Los Angeles for one, and my mom hates Los Angeles. So clearly, we don't see eye to eye on some things. And My sister and I, though, we've never really not gotten along, but I've never really laid a hand on any of my brothers, sisters, or anything as an adult. As a kid, yeah, sure. Not my sister though. And she got in my face and I smacked her. I had a reason. I won't go into that reason, but I had a reason. And in my head it was a good reason. Um, Probably wasn't though. It's never a good reason to hit anybody. And so that scared me to death. Um, it was in that moment that I realized I need to be getting help. I need to be going to see people. And I actually started the VA process a year later. So it was enough to motivate me to do it, but it's still like I was fighting through all the other shit, right? And so obviously after this happens, I'm trying to figure out what I'm gonna do, if I'm gonna leave or I'm gonna stay here, if I'm gonna go to jail because my sister's gonna like call the cops or something on me. And I get a text message from one of my old bosses, and he's like, "Hey, I got work." I was like, so I booked my ticket back to LA to be homeless. Yeah, I booked a flight to return to Los Angeles with no place to live, no van, no car, no house, no RV, no apartment, no roommates, nothing. I chose to be homeless versus staying home with my family. And by home, I mean my family home. Home for me is in Los Angeles. I've been here for the last 12 years. I hated Michigan. It's too fucking cold, right? I mean, you could say that me choosing to be homeless versus staying at home with my family is indicative of something. It's probably indicative of me more than anything. But I, it was this time around that one of my friends that I had been neglecting and had neglected probably at this point showed up for me. She gave me a place to land. She picked me up at the airport. And she spent the day driving me around to find a vehicle and put up with my crap. She did that on several occasions. Thank you. I did finally find a Ford van. It was going to be my death trap. And probably the start of one of my worst years in history. It was the year where I could no longer shift the broken. And I instead broke. And almost died. I'm Sly Green. This was a preview of my one-man show, Shifting the Broken. If you are curious for more, you can hit the subscribe button and you'll get notified when I post more videos like this. I don't plan to release this necessarily on YouTube as a rule, but it is intended to be a live stage production. And it's still in the works. It is currently where it's at, but I do plan to expand it and to make it a little less off the books. Right now, some of this was actually off the books. Most of it was written, but there's a lot more to it. There's a much deeper story. There's an incident that happened to me over in Afghanistan that probably won't be previewed because I just won't. But anywho, thank you for your time. I appreciate you. If you liked this, hit the like button. Again, if you want to see more stuff that I do, hit the subscribe button. And as always, you can catch me live on Twitch as Kaezlo, Thursday through Sundays usually. Occasionally, I have weeks where I don't stream all those days, but normally starts after 6 p.m., sometimes closer to 10 or 11. and it will run through the night, bridging the gap between yesterday and tomorrow. Anyways, again, Kaezlo, Sly, I'm Sly. Kaezlo is my gaming identity and Twitch. Peace out, stay safe, y'all, and look forward to seeing you next time.